One family in Breathitt County is thankful to be alive after the floodwaters swept away their double wide 3 weeks ago and trapped more of their family members in another house. As Emily Bennett reports, the family is calling it a miracle that they are still here.
The creek, running next to the Fugate family's house,
your kids love to fish,
is one of the many things they love about their home.
The water has never got over the banks.
But 3 weeks ago, that babbling brook quickly turned into a wall of water.
Within minutes, it started, like raising.
Around midnight, Bridget was in bed when her mother called, warning them of high water.
By the time we came down those steps, that water, within 10 minutes, was up to my waist.
Grabbing her 2 kids, Bridget and her husband started treading water, fighting against a strong current to get to dry land.
When you're scared to death, you'll climb a mountain.
Her oldest son, Martin, his wife and 3-year-old child lived next door. They were woken up with their door being flung open as water consumed their house.
He came out and he's looking at me. He's like, "Mom, what do I do?"
Bridget's husband tried to get to them.
This debris just kept hitting him. And he looked over at me and he said, "They're going to die." And I said, "No, they're not."
She watched as her family was stranded. Her double-wide trailer swept down the creek.
It took everything.
So she did the only thing she could think of: pray.
The first thing that I did is I hit the ground and I lifted my hands up and I said, "Father, in the name of Jesus, please stop the rain and lower the water. And you can ask my son." The rain slowed down and the water did drop enough for them to come out. He kindly pitched that child to my husband and we brought him up here. And it was like a miracle because the water did come back up.
For hours, they sat in the rain, only able to see the damage as the lightning lit up the sky.
It don't even look like the same place. What was a beautiful yard is creek rock.
But as hard as it is for her home to be missing,
yeah, I have a bad feeling when I come here.
She counts her blessings.
If my mother hadn't called and woke us up, we would have probably floated off right in it because we were in the bed.
As it's only material things that she can't get back.
We've lost everything that we have worked for years, but we have our children. You know, we made it.
In Breathitt County, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
3 weeks later, still hearing stories like that, new stories, seeing new places, just devastated. The Fugate's neighbor is one of the women still missing in Breathitt County, and she says one of her family members who lived next door was swept away and killed in the flood. FEMA officials say some flood victims are receiving payments from them in small amounts ranging from $178 to $195. Victims are encouraged to read the letter that accompanies the payment carefully. Officials say, quote, most likely this money is to pay a contractor to inspect and estimate damage to an HVAC, septic system, well, retaining wall, or single-family road or bridge. After receiving the contractor estimate, officials say people should file an appeal. A group of Eastern Kentucky attorneys is working to help their neighbors in need. Apple Red Legal Aid is working with volunteer lawyers from across the region, bringing together resources to help with FEMA assistance appeals. With one organization estimating more than 1,400 homes have been hit hard by the floods. Not every family seeking help has been approved, so the network is hoping to up their odds by connecting them with local attorneys.
We want people to know that if FEMA turns you down, they may turn you down for a technical reason that can be easily fixed, and we don't want people to give up. You know, FEMA is not an insurance company, but it is a lifeline.
Pillersdorf says aside from FEMA assistance appeals, the network plans to help anyone who is caught up in a lawsuit from one of their home finance lenders if they are unable to pay for a home they no longer have. You can contact Apple Red at 844-478-0099. Lawyers from a Lexington law firm visited Letcher County today to help Eastern Kentuckians work through FEMA applications. 6 lawyers from the Densmore law firm in Lexington went to Whitesburg to try and help flood victims get as much compensation as possible. Partner of the law firm, Christina Johnson, says they have never witnessed such a heartbreaking tragedy.
I think we're used to seeing, at least in our neck of the woods, natural disasters like tornadoes, but nothing to the extent of just miles and miles and miles of just wreckage everywhere.
Johnson and other lawyers there recommend applying as a homeowner if the house you lived in was damaged, regardless of whether or not the property was under your name. Governor Andy Beshear announced crews will begin removing flood debris from waterways in counties impacted by flooding. The national company Ashbrit was awarded the contract to remove and dispose of land debris. The company will work alongside the Army Corps of Engineers and the Division of Water, which will be responsible for identifying debris piles. People can report debris that needs to be picked up on roadways and waterways by calling the debris hotline. That number is 855-336-2337.
Well, we continue to watch the potential for scattered thunderstorms around the region this evening. I know many of us, outside of what's going on down there in Corbin, they've already kicked off the first game of the night, but most of us still about an hour and a half away from high school football kickoff this evening. Most of us dry, but that's not the case everywhere. One place that is dry, downtown Whitesburg, looking quite pleasant this evening down there. Of course, our Appalachian Wireless game of the week not far away at Letcher County Central High School tonight as they take on Shelby Valley. Temperatures around the region, low to mid 80s around the region, just about universally. Our only exceptions, areas that have gotten some showers across southwest Virginia and southern West Virginia. We've watched a couple of flash flood warnings be issued for portions of Dickinson and Buchanan counties, and now the heaviest rain in the area right on top of Hellier there in southern parts of Pike County near 119. That is quite a bit of rainfall there with that particular storm, but you see our flash flood warnings until 6:30 for the Dickinson, or for the Buchanan County warning, Buchanan and Dickinson. That's southern Buchanan and southern Dickinson until 8:15. But very heavy rain there in southern Pike County, just north and east of Jenkins, along 119. Everything here will continue scooting off to the north and northeast as we run through the remainder of tonight. So yes, we do have the possibility for more showers, but they just haven't been getting going too much as we head through the rest of the evening. So mid-60s out there tonight, mostly clear. We'll keep an eye on those showers as we head through our football Friday night. Coming up in just a little bit. Steve?
Evan, thank you. Black Diamond Coal LLC is facing a federal indictment on several charges regarding falsifying dust samples and lying to federal mine inspectors. In the indictment, it said that a mine employee in charge of reporting dust samples knowingly and willfully certified false claims to the U.S. Mine Safety and Health Administration. The employee was accused of leaving a piece of equipment that detects dust levels on the surface of the mine rather than inside the mine's portal. The employee has also been accused of lying to an MSHA special investigator, telling the official that he had been having problems with the dust sampler after it was found outside of the mine. WYMT's Jordan Mullins has reaction from a local attorney who specializes in cases such as these and how this type of behavior could be causing an increase in severe black lung disease.
Black Diamond Coal LLC in Floyd County has been federally indicted for knowingly making and certifying false statements by failing to keep a piece of dust sampling equipment inside of the mine, thus sampling clean air on the surface.
In this case, they were able to determine that the company allegedly was falsifying their records, and as a result, miners at that mine were being exposed to too much coal and rock dust.
Wes Addington, director of the Appalachian Citizens Law Center in Whitesburg, has seen several similar cases in his time representing Eastern Kentucky's coal miners.
This type of behavior has been common for far too long in the coal industry.
As a result of this behavior by coal companies, black lung is becoming an epidemic. Addington added that the severity of black lung is the worst it has ever been.
And many of them are dying at very young ages or requiring lung transplants. And companies that cheat on their required dust sampling are directly contributing to this disability and death that we're seeing.
Calling for change in the mining industry at the federal level.
if we're going to end serious black lung disease for our miners, then we have to stop overexposing them. And if their employers are doing that, they should be prosecuted.
To protect miners in Appalachia and beyond. In Whitesburg, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
We have reached out to the owner of Black Diamond Coal, who did not want to comment on the situation.
And another look at Future View and Pinpoint Dopplers we head through the next couple of days. The latest on your Football Friday night forecast coming up.
And a new restaurant and brewery is just about ready to open in Harlan, and they are still hiring.